Hey everybody, this is Jen from Garden Jen's Journey. I tried doing a live video today and I just didn't like the way that it turned out. I guess with my kind of internet, things just get really laggy and jarbled. So I figured I'd just do a regular video and then upload it. So things have been really hectic here. The last couple of weeks we've been dealing with serious health issues of a family member. And so it's put a lot of strain on the whole family, the larger family, as well as my immediate family here at home, trying to make sure that we're eating and resting and taking care of ourselves, as well as seeing to the needs of the family member. Here at home, in my own family, it's been extremely difficult. We've been on the road a lot, visiting the member, and trying to take care of other errands that we have in our daily lives here. And so with all the running to and fro and things like that, trying to maintain a workout routine, trying to prepare meals from scratch has not really been easy. There's been times I've had to throw a workout haphazardly into some block of downtime that I have, which isn't very much. And then meals have been really more about quick and convenient rather than wholesome and healthy. So it's been a struggle, but we're getting there. We kind of have things where it's not so hectic at the moment. And I'm able to think a little better, think on some other things, and try to make the best of the situation. Try to make sure that my family has good, wholesome meals that will not only feed them physically, but also help with the clarity that we need in our minds and things to deal with the stress and making good decisions on the things that we're dealing with right now. One of the things that I have noticed is, according to my scale, and I'm not quite sure what's going on with that, but according to my scale, I have gained 20 pounds in the last month. And it's not making any sense, really, because my clothes aren't any tighter. I haven't gained any inches anywhere, or anything that I can see where I might have gained the weight at. So I'm thinking that it's probably in my legs, in muscle, because I've been working out a lot on my legs, trying to build them up a little stronger, especially my quads and my hamstrings. To be honest, I can't ride a bike right now because I don't have the strength in my quads and my hamstrings to push my weight around on a bike. I can sit and pedal a standing bike, one of those ones that just, sit there. I forgot what they're called. But anyways, I can do one of those bikes, but to actually get on a regular bike and try to pedal around town or something like that, I can't do. I don't have the strength in my legs. So I've been really trying to work on leg strength and get that better. So I'm hoping that that's where the extra 20 pounds came from. Otherwise, my scale has gone to crud and just needs to be thrown out in the next week's trash pickup. Let's see what else. Other than that, with us being on the fly a lot, we have done quite a bit of eating out, grabbing some quick meals and things like that. But we've been very careful. At least I have. My husband's tried to be very careful on what we do eat. We don't have a big budget right now because gas is expensive and eating out's expensive too. So we go for the best, the cheapest kind of thing meal, but also the healthiest. We've done a lot of Taco Bell. Taco Bell is quite healthy, especially if you get beans instead of the meat, because the meat is very greasy. But the beans are vegetarian; they don't have the fat in them. And also, if you get the like the burritos and the tacos and stuff, and not the fried stuff like the chalupas and the fried fritters and things like that. If you just get like the burritos or the tacos and things with the veggies and things like that, and monitor how much sour cream and cheese you have put on them, Taco Bell is actually a pretty good place to go. We've also done some Big Boy. I've eaten a couple breakfast items there where I've been able to get either the whole grain toast and poached eggs and some yogurt, or I get their multigrain pancakes, which they're made with whole wheat. They have oatmeal and a couple different nuts in it, and it's a very hearty pancake. It's hard to eat. I get like 2 pancakes in my meal, and it's very hard to eat 2 pancakes because it's such a wholesome batter that they use. So I've been very careful on what I get when I go out to eat. So you can go out to eat, but you just have to watch what you're doing, make better choices, get whole grain items, things that have fruits and veggies and things like that, and just make good choices. And if you're not doing it every day, that's great. Our options lately haven't been where we can sit down and actually cook a meal at home. We've been on the fly so much, so it's been quite the challenge to make sure that we're eating healthy as we go. And that goes for our son as well. A lot of times when we go visit the relative who's in the hospital right now, our son gets left at home, and like he says quite often, I have a pantry stocked full of food. The problem is the food that is in there is food that takes time to prepare, and you have to know how to cook it. I've got lots of beans, lots of whole greens like rice and quinoa and lentils and things like that. But my son has no idea how to prepare those foods and how to make them taste good. So we've been a little lax on that. We've let him get his boxes of mac and cheese and things that he can fix quickly, and it does him okay. But what I try to do when I have some downtime is I try to make a couple meals ahead. That way he has some meals to grab out of the refrigerator or out of the freezer, and he doesn't have to rely on the processed mac and cheese to make a meal for him. Also, as far as workouts, we were really blessed. I've been trying to do the Beachbody program here at home, and Beachbody is a great program. I really enjoyed the workouts. I enjoy the shake. I drink the shakes almost every day, at least 5 times a week. Sometimes I don't drink it on the weekends or whatever. But anyways, here at home, I live in a smaller home. I don't have a lot of room to dedicate to workout. My living room is quite small with everything that we have in it. Like my office is here, and then we also have the couch and a chair, and we have a fireplace in here too, which takes up some room. And we also have a dog crate for our dogs. They can't be left alone. They have separation anxiety. So the only place that we can actually put the dog crate is here in the living room, and it stays in here. So they use it all the time. That being said, there's really no room to work out. There's room to walk around here in the living room and things like that. But to try to work out, there is not space. You're going to run into something, either the couch or the desk or the dog crate or, the fireplace. So I've decided that in order to get the best bang for my workout buck, that I was going to start working out at a local gym. They were having a really good sale to get a membership started. Very decent price membership too, compared to other gyms that I've been to. For the full membership, if you want to call it that, the full membership, the premium membership, whatever, which is very reasonably priced. It's $20 a month. I get 24/7 access to the gym all the time. Plus, they have massage chairs and beds and tanning booths and some other things that are all included in that membership. So it's unlimited use of those things as well as the gym. And I use the massage thing every day that I go. Sometimes twice. I'll go get a massage before and then a massage afterwards, just to make sure that my muscles are staying loose. But anyways, $20 a month for the premium membership. And then my husband has one too. And then also with the premium membership, you can take one guest. And so that works for us because we can take our son. Now, our son won't be able to use like the massage and stuff like that because only premium members can. But he's not really into that anyways. The biggest thing for him is getting him to start working out, getting him to start exercising. He's a teenager. He doesn't think he needs to do it. So I'm trying to make it a family thing, challenge, fun, get him more involved in that. So that's been a blessing. That's been our goal, to try get that as part of our routine. I try to go every day early in the morning. That way I can start my day instead of getting halfway through the day and going, oh, I gotta go work out. I try to start my day by getting up, going to work out, and then coming back home and tackling the other things I have to do during the day. And so it's working out so far. My husband goes with me right now because he is laid off, but eventually he'll be back to work, and so he'll have to figure out his own little schedule on when he's going to work out, probably after work or something like that. So it's just been a struggle this past couple of weeks trying to keep a routine, but we have incorporated some new things in our home that's going to help us stay healthy and get healthier. I really enjoy the fact that my husband's wanting to step up to the plate and start making some changes in his life as well. It's been very difficult for him. He's so used to doing things the way that he was brought up. Like many of us are brought up that this is what you do, this is what you eat, and to try to make changes is very difficult sometimes. And so for him, it's been very difficult to want to say, okay, you know what, I'm going to go ahead and work out, or the dietary thing, trying to keep my whole house vegetarian, not just myself. It's been a struggle as well because my husband and my son love meat. They just really enjoy it. And so my husband's finally said, you know what, we're gonna do this together as a family. I'm gonna do the best I can to no longer eat meat, except for when he goes out to a restaurant or something like that, he might order a meat entree. But he's agreed to work with me to try to eat healthier and things like that. So that's been a real blessing. Also trying to help me find different ideas as far as what they like for vegetarian cooking. Teenagers can be quite picky, so I've been racking my brains trying to find something that my son enjoys. But having my husband back me up and say, you know what, I really like that dish. Or, this sounds really good, why don't you try this? And things like that, instead of groaning and complaining that I'm not fixing meat and potatoes. So it's been awesome for that experience as well. And it's kind of bringing us closer together as a family too, because instead of fighting each other about health issues and dietary things, we're actually working together. It's been a real struggle with some me trying to stay vegetarian, borderline vegan, and then trying to find ways to cook what they want, and just it doesn't work very well because meat's quite expensive, and for us, we don't have a ton of money, so it's either I buy meat and blow the food budget on meat choices, and then I don't have anything to eat, or I buy like the beans and the rice and lentils and nuts and things like that where I get my protein and things, and then the fresh fruits and veggies, of course, and then they complain because they don't have meat to eat. So it's been quite difficult, but like I said, things are starting to come around, and I have the Lord to praise for that. He softens hearts and he helps people understand the message of health a little better. The problem is with meat. When we were originally given the okay to eat meat was after the flood, when most of the vegetation had been, all the vegetation had been wiped out during the flood. And it takes a while for things to grow back. I mean, God didn't just wave his hand and say, okay, everything's grown again in full circle. Things had to grow back naturally. So there wasn't the vegetation and things that Noah and his family would regularly have eaten. So God said, you know what, I'm giving you these animals, and he specifically told us which animals to eat that you can use for meat food until the vegetation and stuff resupply, and you can eat those again. So that was in the beginning, way back when, and the animals were healthy then. Now the animals are not healthy. A lot of the animals are very sick. We hear a lot about swine flu. We hear about avian flu, bovine tuberculosis. There's just a lot of diseases out there. And then you have the farmers who are in it for the money big time, who are giving their animals hormones to get them growing faster, bigger to produce more milk, more eggs, whatever it is, because they want the most bang for their buck when it comes to their product. And I kind of understand that from a business sense because I run my own business here, my husband's business and my business. But still, when you're putting tons and tons of chemicals into animals, then the tons and tons of chemicals are going to go into you because it's in the animal's tissue, it's in the blood, and many people don't process their meat in the kosher way, which drains all the blood and everything out of the animal. So you still have the blood that you're dealing with. And so we're ingesting all that. And so besides the cholesterol and all the fat and things that aren't good for you in meat, and meat makes your body acidic. If you always have heartburn and things like that, and you're a huge meat eater, try cutting out your meat. That is what took care of my heartburn. I had GERD for, I would say, 7 or 8 years. I had IBS for about 15, 20 years. And as soon as I quit eating meat, that went away. I mean, almost immediately. As soon as my body was done processing that last meaty meal, I didn't have heartburn anymore. My IBS practically went away. I do have still some bouts, but not usually. So those things are attributed to meat, and it's because the animals aren't as healthy as they used to be, and our bodies were not originally meant to eat meat. A lot of people think they are, that we're supposed to be omnivores. We're supposed to eat everything. I think it's omnivores. But anyways, but actually we weren't. If you follow the Bible, you'll see that we were created to eat fruits and vegetables, herbs, greens of the fields, things like that. Even Daniel, when he went before the king in Babylon, he told the king, we're not going to eat the stuff that you guys eat. Feed us this, this, and this. And then check on us in 10 days and see who's more fit, those who eat all your delicacies or us who just eat simple foods. And it was Daniel and his friends, his 3 friends, that actually were healthier, and they had a clearer mind. They could think about things a lot clearer than the other ones. So again, proving that vegetarian and vegan diet is actually healthier for you. But as time has gone on and generation after generation, people have decided that meat tastes better and it's a needed item in our everyday meals. But it's not. I do just fine without eating meat. I'm still quite heavy. I'm not starving because I don't eat meat, but I do notice that I do have health benefits. And same goes for sugar. A lot of people are on this sugar-free health kick thinking it's better for you. The diet sodas, the sugar-free gums, the sugar-free candies, all that crap. But it's crap. It really is. You might as well eat dog crap because it's same health value. The aspartame, the saccharin, the sucralose, which is your Splenda, are not good for you. They're chemicals. Splenda was supposed to be a healthier option because it's sugar that was sugar, but it's actually sugar that's been bleached. They use some kind of bleaching agent to break it down, so it's a different kind of sugar. Do you really want to be ingesting bleach? Be honest with you. Saccharin, it's a proven carcinogen. I've seen labels on Carefree gum for as long as I can remember when I was a teenager that saccharin causes cancer. So why are we ingesting it? Hello? A lot of people worry about the diabetics who can't process sugar. And so, and my family was one of them. I have diabetics in my family. So it was, they can't have sugar, so we have to buy the sugar-free stuff, and that's what they can eat. They can eat the sugar. Or, they can eat the saccharin, they can eat the NutraSweet, they can eat the Splenda, because it's not sugar. So it's not going to mess with their glycemic levels. It's not going to set them on a tailspin. The actual answer to that is if they eat regular sugar, it's actually better for them because it's not toxic chemicals. Sugar, they can't process sugar very well. That's true. They can't. But to say that giving them toxic chemicals over a natural substance is better is a lie. That health officials have been telling people for years. And it's actually not true. There has been studies that show that if a diabetic actually eats normal sugar and not the fake stuff, that they actually are healthier. You know, it's just like anybody else. We need to watch how much sugar that we're taking, and they just need to watch a little closer because their body cannot metabolize that very well. So that's a little health nugget for you. We also don't do corn syrup in this house. A lot of people say corn syrup's been around for years. You know, it's fine. It's a natural thing. But they don't realize how much processing goes into making syrup out of corn. Corn is sweet, but not that sweet. It takes putting a lot of corn together with some, I forget exactly, I think it's hydrochloric acid that they use. You can Google it and you'll figure it out. But they use hydrochloric acid to turn the starch in corn, because you know corn is very starchy. To turn the starch that's in corn into sugar, they use hydrochloric acid. And I'm not okay with having hydrochloric acid in my body. And, you know, even though it might not be there supposedly, it's still there. And so we choose not to do that. And especially since I can see the difference that corn syrup does to my son. Our son suffers from, if you want to call it that, is diagnosed with ADHD. He's very hyperactive. He can't pay attention sometimes, and he has a hard time. But we have found that we can maintain it just fine if we stay away from the artificial junk. We don't do dyes. We stay away from corn syrup, and we make sure he gets plenty of exercise and fresh air. And that seems to work a lot better than those drugs that he was on for a long time. And so we just don't do it. I mean, if you want to have corn syrup and you don't think there's a problem with it, go for it, whatever. I don't do it. I can see the effect that it has on my son, and I know how it affects me as well. It really makes me hyper. And I just don't need that. There's plenty of other things I can use instead of corn syrup. I can use a regular sugar syrup that I make myself. Honey has a great viscosity, kind of like corn syrup. It doesn't taste the same, that's for sure. But it's kind of got the same viscosity, so I can use that instead of corn syrup. And I've actually also found a corn syrup recipe online. I can't remember where I got it from, so I can't tell you that. But just go on Google and type in homemade corn syrup, and it's made with sugar and some other items I can't remember offhand. I haven't tried making it yet, but I'm going to be making it soon because we like peanut brittle. We really do. So I want to try seeing if I can make that so I can make some homemade peanut brittle without that corn syrup junk. Anyways, trying to find alternatives for that, and also alternatives for baking powder. It's not really good for you. The leavening agent in baking powder is actually it irritates your I can't even say it. Your intestines and things like that. It's not good for your system that way. So trying to find some healthier options. Eggs are a very good leavening agent, but I know some people want to stay completely vegan and things like that, which is fine. I'm not worried about it because I get my eggs from my own chickens that I have in my own backyard. So I'm fine with eating eggs, and I'm very careful on the milk products I use as well, that they're not from GMO-fed cows, and they're not given the RHBT or whatever, the growth hormone. So I watch what I get for dairy for myself as well. But I eat quite a bit of Greek yogurt as one of my meals. So again, I'm not completely vegan. I do have some dairy options that I use, but I just label read. And I do have a hard line on some things, and other things I'm like, okay, 1 or 2 items is not going to break my diet. So that's the biggest thing for our family, is staying consistent as a family, label reading, and making choices as a family as to what we're going to allow in our home and what we're not. What's the healthiest option for us? Like I said, my husband's finally decided, okay, you know what? We're not going to eat meat here at the house. If I want a steak or something, I'll go out and get one when I'll go out to eat once a month. So that's been a big thing. And then finding healthy alternatives. There's a lot of people who like the the vegetarian meat, like the Morning Star or Boca. There's another one called, I think it's corn. It's spelled a funky way. I don't do meat substitutes. I used to, but I don't anymore, because if you read a lot of the meat substitutes, they have a lot of preservatives and a lot of sodium in order to make that product taste better. And so I don't do that. I don't do the vegetarian cheeses. I'll make my own vegetarian cheese, but the vegetarian cheeses we haven't found to really be a good substitute. So we just don't do it. We don't eat meat, we don't eat cheese, and that just makes it easier on us. There's a lot of people who can do that, and that's fine, that's them. This is just my journey, and this is what I'm sharing with you and how I do things here at my home, what I found to be a blessing. So with all that said, I hope you guys are having a great start to a new week. This has been a hard week, and we still got more to go with our family situation. But I think we're getting off on the right track this week, and we're trying our best to be healthy together as a family unit, and just carry each other through this hard time. So thank you so much for watching, and I hope to see you again soon. This is Jen from Garden Jen's Journey. Bye-bye now.